The assumption of God forms. Now, dear esteemed, honorable, notable, and most noble viewer, if you would like a preview of just what this is all about, I encourage you to search out through YouTube or perhaps the search engine of your choice, the rite of the Kabbalistic cross. And this will give you a preview of what this is all sort of leading to. But in my estimation, I believe it is worthwhile to investigate the intention, the philosophical foundation of what this is all about, because otherwise it just kind of comes off as somebody, putting on their black hood and, doing all kinds of hand gestures and making these sounds, these vibratory sounds. Now, what's important to really take from all of this is the simple fact that your sound and the sound vibrations that you make and the interaction that they achieve within your own divine anatomy is the true power behind all of this. Now, all these words and these concepts, they are meant to sort of interface with a modern mindset of where our consciousness, the gates to our consciousness are oftentimes through words, because we're very wordy, we're very, conceptualized in that aspect of our modern mindsets. Everything is through words. And but simply, I can tell you this, that if you just took up one simple practice, humming, if you just started humming all day long, the reverberations and the sound reverberations, and in particularly depending on what you're humming, but it really goes back to the 5 vowel sounds. And you're going to notice a congruence, a sort of quantum familiarity between all of these, like the Hebrew words and the Egyptian words and the Hindu mantras like Shiva, Ramanda, Ra, and Veguvra, and all these they tend to vocalize, and the sounds are very similar. So keep that in mind. There's nothing to be really put off about all this as far as the mysticism and the maybe the exoticness of it. You could simply start humming each day, and that one practice alone, you would increase your energies and your quantum health immeasurably. So that being said, that one caveat to keep in mind, the assumption of God forms. And now keep in mind, that simply means that you're divinizing matter. You're bringing heaven to earth. You are emulating your hero, as it were. If Jesus Christ is your hero, well, then you should emulate what he was all about, his essence. And so that is what this means, the assumption of God forms. And it is only a person who suffers from what is known as RTS, religious trauma syndrome, who will get some sort of negativity with this message. Okay, because you've been brainwashed into thinking that you have to worship something outside of yourself. Jesus on the cross, the crucified Jesus on the cross, and if you don't worship him in just the way that Billy Graham or Robert Tilton tells you to, and give them money at the same time, then you're going to hell. Well, that's just simply not true. That's a type of brainwashing, gaslighting, and the majority of people suffer from religious trauma syndrome. So the assumption of God forms is one of the most powerful spiritual methods of the ancient magic of light. Okay? It is also one of the simplest techniques to learn and use, and it yields immediate, concrete, and observable results. Yeah, you could have immediate, concrete, and observable results just by humming each day. But in particularly, if you hum with intention and some sort of structure, then you're really going to be maximizing your time. So anyway, in its simplest form, a magician comes. Now, keep in mind, this comes from the word mage or the magi. So Christians, don't get all freaked out. Jesus had 3 of the magi come to where he was birthed. It wasn't in a manger; it was in a cave, FYI. But 3 of these magi And this is what essentially I'm sharing is the art of the Magi and using the assumption of God forms. Now, these Magi, these Persians, this is an ancient form that was handed down from the Shining Ones. The Shining Ones taught mankind this. We know the Shining Ones as the elves, or we know the Shining Ones as the Anunnaki. It goes on and on, but these are essentially higher beings, higher dimensional beings of knowledge and light. And this was all shared with us. We're not meant to live in the mud and slime of ignorance. This is meant to dispel the darkness of ignorance. Now, using the assumption of God forms gradually builds up the image of the God form with the imagination until he or she completely identifies with it. Like stepping into character when putting on a mask. Okay, we are emulating the Christ. We are emulating Ra. We are emulating Horus. We are emulating the light and the power of the light, because this opens up a current of God force energy passing through the mage, passing through the adept, passing through you, that gives enormous power to manifest just about anything you need or want. And you'll see that this rite begins with an ancient hymn awakening the solar energies of the Egyptian sun god Ra. All right, and that don't get confused or tripped up, or somehow your defense posture comes up, you're online, your religious trauma syndrome becomes activated, because simply the power of the sun, we don't even have to name it if you don't like to anthropomorphize the sun in that fashion. But go look up what NASA has done and the research and the findings that they have published, basically saying the power of sun gazing. All right, so that simply, if you just understand the power of the sun and that it is beneficial to you, that you don't need to wear sunglasses, only if you're making an Umbanda video when you need sunglasses, or sunblock. No, that's all gaslighting by the powers that be to keep people away from the sun and staring into the sun. But by the end of the rite, you identify yourself so completely with the built-up God form that two things happen. Your words, your syllables, your Amun-Ra, Vegubura, your words take on nearly divine manifestation power, making this an astonishingly effective all-purpose spell. Okay, we spell words every day. We spell. This is spelling your intention. This is projecting your God force mind intention into your quantum holographic reality. You will directly experience God force energy in your physical body. You will directly experience it. I tell you that I feel the power right now dancing in my fingertips. It is all through. Wherever I focus my intention, that is where that awareness, the quantum awareness of that effulgence, that God energy is alive. So the direct experience of God force energy, these rites, these structured meditations, if you will, they're designed to give you a physical sensation of energy moving in your body during and immediately following these rites, these structured meditations, if you will. Sometimes words get people all kind of freaked out, rites, rituals, invocations, witches, Halloween, scary kids. But let's grow up, folks, okay? Let's grow up, because the elites have purposely obfuscated this information and kept you, the people at the base of the pyramid, from taking advantage of all this spiritual technology. This is simply spiritual technology and forms of invoking the God force within and projecting it into your reality. This is not something you imagine, but this is something you should actually be able to feel in your body. And if you're performing this spiritual technology correctly, you will feel this radiant effulgence. You will feel this power. You can heal yourself of many ailments. Okay, some describe the physical sensation of this flow of God force energy as being like, champagne bubbles running down on your arms, are waves of energy that rush up your spine, then shine out through your hands and feet, projecting. Yes, the Qi masters, the quantum Qi masters of Tai Chi, of Qigong, I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen them move objects just simply by projecting their Qi force. So anyway, but others describe this, like I said, waves of energy that rush up your spine, then shine out through your hands, head, and feet. Keep in mind and visualize this. Imagine this. because that is the thought form. Visualization, imagination is the thought form of the new earth, the harmonic universe number 2, the 5th dimension. Imagination and visualization. And everyone describes this feeling of this energy in their bodies a little differently. Everything is subjective to your experience, to your creator source abhors sameness. Everyone is an individual, and that is what we have been sent out to do, to gather our own unique experiences. But once you reach out and connect with the God force, you will unmistakably feel its energetic flow in your body. And with practice, you can learn to shine God force energy as brightly as a miniature sun, and learn to wield the God force for protection and to manifest your will in the world. Now, going a little bit more in depth with this personification, anthropomorphication of the Egyptian sun god Ra, that same star, that same solar entity that is in the sky that you can walk outside right now and see it, depending on where you're at in the hemispheres. But this sun has eternal, has been there for us. That is the evidence of God in our reality. And now the ancient Egyptians revered Ra as the god who created everything. Also known as the sun god, Ra was revered as giver of all life energy. Yes, that should be self-evident. Ra was a powerful deity and a central god of the Egyptian pantheon. The ancient Egyptians worshipped Ra more than any other god. Pharaohs often connected themselves with Ra in their efforts to be seen as the earthly embodiment of the sun god. Initiates, adepts of ancient Heliopolis understood the rites of Ra as a method for charging their energetic souls with God force energy. Now, the God force, various esoteric temples, mystery schools, the teachings explain that we live in a vast ocean of vital life energy emanating from the sun and the stars. Without this vital energy, no life on earth could survive. In the East, the Taoist sages call this life force Qi. Ancient tantric masters called it Kundalini. The gurus of yoga call it prana. Here in the West, the Hermetic masters and the adepts of the ancient teachings, the Magi, call this energy lux, L-U-X. It's Latin for light. Okay? Master Christ simply called it life and claimed we can all have this energy throughout all eternity in an unknown abundance, because it is the very scaffolding structure of the universe, this light. Okay, this light force, this lux force, L-U-X, Latin for light, has been known by initiates since the dawn of time. Although it has been called by diverse names around the world, the best way to understand it is just to call this divine life energy what it really is, God force. God force energy is the fabric of the universe. Blazing like galaxies of stars, God force energy flows within you and without you. God force is the vital life energy that courses through every living thing, from the green sap of plants to the life force in every cell of your body. Yes, Kundalini is essentially the actions of a flower blossoming. It is the dog you hear barking in the distance. It is the attraction you feel for whomever it is you feel. It is the very life force. That is the Kundalini. It is the essence. And guess what? You can have all of this vital life force that you want. It is immeasurably abundant. It is universally available. It can bestow many things on you, from health and longevity to eternal conscious life. And best of all, it is absolutely free. Please hit that subscribe button. You only need to learn how to feed your energetic soul with God force energy. God force energy. Then you have access all of it that you ever want forever. Abundance, unlimited, eternal. God force energy is right there, all around you. Lots of it right now, all the time. Unfortunately, however, we live in a completely materialistic culture. All right. Not that there's anything wrong with materialism per se, but we also need spiritual life force to feed our energetic soul. Your mother taught you how to feed your physical body with material food. Why did no one teach you how to feed your energetic soul with God force, with radiant effulgence? When you decided to view this video, click on this video, All right, I'm going to tell you, you took the first step towards a new life of freedom, abundance, longevity, and vibrant health. Don't you want that to be part of your life? Hit the subscribe button. Leave this video a thumbs up. You placed your trust in me, so I will not disappoint you. All right, let me show you how to feed your energetic soul with God force so it will grow strong and healthy. All right, so that's basically like a little underpinning of this God force. Like I said, look up for a preview of what I'm talking about, the rites of the Kabbalistic cross, and you'll begin to get some nuanced meaning about this type of structured meditation and how it's designed to fill you full of vitality and life energy. And consider emergency first aid to show you how to feed your soul by learning to shine the God force. And once you get a direct experience of God force energy, you will want to learn more, quite naturally. You can also go out and stare into the sun right now without any sunglasses. I do it all the time. My eyes still work. I stared into the Ring of Fire solar eclipse that just took place the other week. When was it? On the 14th? Yeah. By strengthening your energetic mind, I stared into the sun with no protection at all, directly, and I watched the eclipse, Ring of Fire, bare-eyed. I watched it take place, although I felt that energy very strongly. However, once you get a direct experience of God force energy, you'll want to learn more. You'll want to hit that subscribe button. And by strengthening your energetic body so you can shine more and more and more God force, the magic of lux, the magic of light awakens the sleeping powers of your soul. Clairvoyance, telepathy, psychic ability, astral projection, and ultimately conscious immortality. Yes, all these cities are a natural byproduct, but don't be like a kid in the candy store and get distracted by these cities, by these divine powers. These are all meant to aid you in your walk, your soul path, and in your mission. They're not an end in and of themselves. And you will see positive manifestations happen and occur, and your blockages begin to be removed. They will be removed. The blockages that keep you from communicating in direct communication with the divine higher aspect of your soul. All right. Your spirit, ultimately, you're a fractal of God. And this abundance, as well as welcome opportunities in all forms, start to appear for you just by getting in alignment and following these structured meditations and understanding. You will be in total harmony with all beings. As thriving individual aspects of God, as thriving individual beings, we are all originally connected through a divine pool of universal energy, the center source of which can be termed the God force. It is this energy pool that we begin to get closed off from as a result of physical incarnation. Our quest in life is to become one in harmony with all that is within and all that is without. All right, becoming true creative expressions of the God force. And in the process, creating ourselves as a unique expression of the God force. Once we manage to attain this harmonious state, this balance, we become true masters of our own destiny. And as a result, we can literally bend the universe to our desires, if one so wishes. But first, in order to begin, we must achieve balance within ourselves, develop our core center, become in alignment, integration with all of our noble eightfold path, the straight path, and throughout life, the struggle is simply to wake up, to remove the veil of illusion we place on ourselves, and to remove the blinders and bindings of the dark magic the establishment and the elitists deliberately place on us in order to enslave us and prevent this awakening and reconnecting of our souls to the God force. I know that's a fact, because once, I'm telling you, I can tell you many strange stories about the Illuminati and their little foot soldiers coming after me and all that stuff, but I don't want this to come off like that. I want you to understand that there is a very real organized entity and energy structure in this universe to keep you from connecting with your God force. There's a very deliberate bindings placed on us in order to enslave us and prevent this awakening and reconnecting of our souls to the God force. Okay? It is at this point when we reconnect to the God force that we recognize who we actually are. Yes, you don't know, you start to reprioritize your essence, your body. No, I can visualize and think of everything that comprises my energetic essence. That is what I'm oriented towards these days. Okay? I understand that all of the 12 universal laws, all of the noble eightfold path, all of that comprises my quality of my light essence, my avatar of light. And that is who we actually are. and we're able to achieve our fullest potential. And in this way, we also attain true happiness. And true happiness is achieved from a complete state of total balance, a harmony with oneself that then permeates into a state of harmony with all other beings. You join the quantum unified field consciousness, the morphogenetic field of radiant effulgence with all other beings. As living, purposeful beings, our natural state is one of harmony and communication with others and the environment. And this harmonious interaction with others is vital to our true nature if we are to achieve our fullest potential as spiritual divine beings. Now, not being in harmony is an unnatural state. All right, and a sign that something is either wrong with your magical spiritual evolution or that you are in fact being tampered with and under someone else's control. Okay, so this knowledge, this spiritual technology will help resolve these conditions if it is present in your life. It will sever all cords, dark attachment cords of negative entities, of any kind of bindings that have been placed upon you, any kind of demonic presence in your life. This structured spiritual technology will help resolve and put you upon the path to nirvana, essentially. And because perfect balance between material desires, you're not skewed, your priorities aren't, trapped within the first assemblage points, the first three chakras, the first three energy dimensions between material desires and spiritual aspirations. And when you have balance, perfect balance, and in fact, that is what nirvana is in Hinduism and Buddhism. Yet the reconnecting to God force achieves something that is even on a higher level than merely achieving nirvana. Okay, one of the major benefits and goals of these spiritual technologies that I'm offering you is to make sure every human being has the means to become one with the God force and live in total balance and a harmonious relationship on the physical, with emotional, your astral body, your mental, your mercurial essence, and your soul, your solar. That is, we are little suns. We are little miniature suns incarnated in these genetic vehicles. So live in total balance in a harmonious relation with all aspects, your physical, your emotional, mental, and your soul. Those planes, those dimensions, because they do exist. And by the way, you can use this spiritual technology to manifest just about anything you want or need in the world, merely by changing the intention. And since my intention is to give you a direct taste of what connecting with the God force feels like, that is how this spiritual technology will be presented in these videos going forth, that is. And there are a few simple precepts, and these are meant to remove negative energies and to divinize your space where it is you're going to perform these assumption of the God form. But there's some things that you can do that we will discuss in the future videos that will divinize, that will spiritualize your immediate physical environment. Okay? Remove negative energies and prepare you to fully enjoy the maximum benefits that this ancient rite will bestow upon you, that this connection to your God force will bring forth within you. You can also just do this spiritual technology, this rite itself, but in these videos, when we go over these preparatory exercises, they will aid the experience immeasurably. And they will simply make your God force shine all the more brighter. And so that is all what this is all about, because by strengthening you, by putting you in contact with your God force, it increases the power of the morphogenetic field. It increases the power of the unity consciousness. And my service to you is really, it's service to self. It's service to myself. It's service to us all. And when we look at it like that, we transcend any of these kind of weird sort of thoughts that get in the way of just simply existing. We don't have to exist in this paranoid type of I had the wrong thought or whatever. But it is important to have right thought, as we talked about in the Noble Eightfold Path, and it is important to stay tuned. Okay, folks. Namaste, namaskaram.